Welcome to Steve's Garage.
Welcome back to another episode of Steve's Garage. Thank you for tuning in this week on Steve's Garage.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Steve's Garage.
Welcome back to another episode of Steve's Garage. Welcome to this episode of Steve's Garage. This week on Steve's Garage, welcome to Smackey's Garage. Welcome to Smackey's Garage. Welcome to Smackey's Garage. Welcome to the new location of Smackey's Garage. Welcome to 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 Smackey's Garage. We finally made it to 1,000 subscribers. It's been a crazy year. I started focusing on YouTube about 2 years ago and finally hit my 1,000 subscriber goal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I work on cars for fun. I have a 2013 Shelby, I have a 1969 Mustang, and I enjoy working on them. It's one of my favorite hobbies. I still remember my first video. It was my 2013 Shelby, and it was idling in a parking lot. It was back in 2013 when I first got the car, and I just wanted to share it. After I did that video, it took about a 6-year break. And during that 6-year break, focused on my career, and it's enabled me to get to this point in my life where I get to work on cars on the weekends. In 2020, I started posting a lot more consistently. I started posting pretty much every month, and then I started working my way around to posting every other week, and then I started posting every week, and now I'm posting about twice a week. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about me. We're going to talk about why I started YouTube. We're going to talk about what I love about YouTube, what I want to get out of YouTube, and then we'll talk a little bit about what's next for the channel. So let's talk a little bit about me. My background's in mechanical and electrical engineering. I've spent a lot of time in the field working on very unique projects and very interesting projects. After that, I went back to school, got my MBA, and now I work in product management. Product management is essentially the planning, the development, the execution, and managing the life cycle of a product in the field. You know, you start with kind of an idea, and then you take it all the way from that idea in your head to launching it and managing it while it's being sold to consumers. I'm not going to go too deep into what product management is. If you really want to do that, there's plenty of videos on that. You know, my background has really helped me analyze problems, understand problems, and think about what I want to build because of it. And that's been kind of my entire life. And now I'm taking this and I'm turning it into cars. You know, I grew up working on cars. I still have memories of my family, myself and my father, working on our 84 Grand Marquis, which I believe had a 351 Windsor. It was a light blue with wood paneling station wagon, and we worked on it because we had to keep it on the road. You know, it was always tinkering with it. It was always trying to make sure everything was working. The carburetor was working. After that, I started playing with engines myself. I had a riding lawnmower that I'd ride around without blades or cutting deck on it. I had a lawnmower engine that was bolted to a board. The crankshaft was horizontal. You know, I played around learning what is a carburetor, what is a choke, how does everything work, and how does everything work together. So I think that's what really got me into working on vehicles at an early age. After that, I ended up getting my first car, which was an 87 Thunderbird, 5-liter V8, you know, my first Ford that I was building. And I spent a lot of time working on it, modifying it, keeping it on the road. It lasted a few years till I turned 18 when I bought a 1994 Mustang. We'll talk about that one in another video though. I started YouTube a long time ago to share my Shelby. I think I started back up on YouTube in 2020, mainly because I wanted to get better at public speaking and explanations. Being an engineer all my life, I was really good at analyzing problems and I was really good at solving problems, but it's the explanation of point A to point B to the solution that I've always struggled with. And one of the things that YouTube has helped me do is really get in front of a camera, get in front of people, and talk more clearly so that everyone can understand. You know, it's really a skill that I've been working on building up for a while, and if you watch my intro, you can see it started a little bit more awkward in the beginning, all the way to where we are today, and it's significantly improved. So probably like a lot of the other people that do YouTube. I still do a lot of takes on every video, and it takes me a while to edit and cut them down. But overall, you know, I'm getting significantly better than where I was before. No, I love talking about cars, and I love sharing my passion for cars. So building up the community, I think, is really important to me. Between everyone that's here, all the different live streams that I've gone on, you know, I just love talking to cars with people and sharing my passion. You know, it's one of the things that has had me start on YouTube, and it's one of the things that's going to keep me going throughout YouTube. One of the big benefits of being on YouTube, and what I really love about it, it's actually pushed me to a strict schedule to get my cars done. You know, it took me forever to build the Mustang over here, and you know, by having a video that needs to come out every week to kind of keep pushing through the YouTube algorithm, it's forced me to have a project, a plan, and be able to execute that plan every week. It's not saying that there's not going to be hiccups and you need to plan for issues that might arise, but you know, it's really forced me to get the car done a lot quicker than I would have in the past if I wasn't doing this. You know, I would have found something else to do other than work on the car. So what I want to get out of YouTube is I want to build up a community, and I want to share my passion of working on cars with others. I think one of the best things about building the community, it's you all watching this video, it's the people on the live streams that we go on, it's the people that we meet in person. You know, I love working on cars. So much so that I'd probably rather work on the cars than drive them. I know that sounds probably a little bit weird, but you know, I just enjoy working on them, taking care of them, maintaining them, upgrading them, trying out new things, seeing what works and what doesn't, and then sharing it with my community here. You know, one of the things that I've been wanting to do on my car is you saw me switch to a manual choke from an electric choke. I got a lot of people that are saying like, oh, why'd you do that? Your car's probably not running right. They're right, it wasn't running right. I needed to do some work with the carburetor. But after that, I want to also try out the thermal choke that originally came with the car. You know, I think it's really interesting to be able to try out these different systems that are on these cars and then share it with everyone. So like one of the things I could do is I could do a comparison of here's the electric choke, here's the mechanical choke, and then here's the thermal choke. Here are the trade-offs that I've known as I've tested out each one. And I think it's really interesting to be able to do that and then share it. I've also thought about kind of looking at, all right, now that I have the car where I want it, I can upgrade the headlights to, let's say, Holley's new LED headlights. I can give a review on how they work. Like, I can start swapping out parts back and forth, seeing what I like, what I don't like, and then I can share with you, which I think it's really interesting. And that's really what I want to get out of YouTube. It's really building up a community and sharing a lot of my passion with you and learning more about the cars, the parts, and the manufacturers that are making parts for these cars. Now, what's next? That's probably one of the harder questions. I'm looking around and I'm trying to decide, okay, so I have a 13 Mustang, I have a 69 Mustang. What don't I have? I don't have a Fox body. Back when I was in high school, I wanted a Fox body, but I could never get one. You know, I made a deal with my parents that I wanted to get the 94 Mustang. It was safer, had airbags, it had disc brakes, which I think the Fox body had. And it was overall a lot safer to drive. Newer interior, the time was a good choice. I've never owned a Fox body, and I kind of want to buy one. I want to build one. I'm starting to look around to see what I can find. My ideal car is probably something in the late 80s. No, I'm trying to find one that needs a good amount of work. I don't mind doing body work. I don't mind doing rust work. A lot of them have shock tower rust issues. I'd like to try to fix that, see where I can get to. I want to build another engine. I want to try out new things with the car, and I potentially want to drag race it. Let me know down in the comments, if you were to get a Fox body, what would you do with it? I'm really interested to hear. Also, I have a lot of projects that I need to finish up on these cars. I looked at so I have a calendar of everything that I plan on doing and posting for videos. If I could keep up with it, I have 2 videos a week from now till the end of the year on these cars, my truck, and building out the garage here. So I have plenty of content to do, even if I don't get another vehicle sometime soon. If I end up getting a Fox body, it's probably going to come into this garage. I do have a third bay over there. So most likely the Shelby will make its way over to that third bay or whatever car I'm not actively working on. As always, thanks for tuning in to Smackey's Garage. I really appreciate you all being here. Thanks for joining the community. It means a lot to me. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you next week.